You haven't touched anything since we last year, right?
No, I haven't.
Great.
Um,
We're live, baby.
we are live. Welcome to the Investor Shed, everybody. My name is Nick Beveridge, here with the incredible Jeremy Kitchen.
Oh, you were just too sweet to me. You're incredible as well.
What? Don't.
Oh, don't. I mean,
Stop it.
don't stop. Literally is what I mean. Like, keep telling me compliments.
Oh, thank you. I will.
Hey, we got a really cool episode, but before we get into that, we want to let you guys know about our investor community on school.com, right, Nick?
We do. We have an investor community on school.com. Right now it is free. It might stay free for a while. It might stay free forever. Who knows? But right now you can get it free if you go to school.com/investorshed.
Yeah.
It is a free mastermind. Mostly it's people in the inland Northwest that are there. We've got a collection of a library of educational tools.
Yep.
We've got our new deal analyzer on there that you can download.
I love that.
And we have weekly coaching calls currently for free. So if you want to get in on some of that, join for free.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have a link in the description.
Yeah.
Eventually. Not
And
on the
then
Facebook
Nick will
stuff.
approve you too, which it's nice when you get that approval email if you're a real person too. Like, you've been accepted into the community. I got one recently. No big deal, but like I'm in there, so
Yeah. So if you've got goals or you just need help creating goals for real estate, that's kind of the community for you, I would imagine.
yeah, or if you have deals you need help looking at, or like it's a pretty helpful community so far. So again, I think we all grow together in this. And if you're pitching things or if you're running, a workshop or anything, that's a good place to pitch it and try to get people to your event as well.
True that.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
everybody.
So real quick, you actually mentioned something on last week's episode that made me want to say this week's episode podcast. And we're going to get into it. I don't want to say exactly what you said, but we're going to be talking about niching down. Niching?
Niche
Niche?
or niche?
Niche. Niching?
I don't know.
I meant to Google it before we got here. And
No, we didn't. We had an opportunity.
Yeah, we had every opportunity, but we're going to talk about basically focusing down into what role makes sense for you as an investor.
Yeah, because the big premise is like do everything. When you get into real estate investing or get into the field and you start taking courses, you're going to learn about all sorts of different stuff, all kinds of ways to make money.
Yep.
You can make money renting houses. You can make money doing short-term rentals. You can make money doing wholesaling. You can make money with fix and flips. You can make money by buying and selling apartment buildings.
Yep. Notes.
Or buying and holding apartment buildings. Or syndication, where you raise money to buy big, expensive, multi-million-dollar properties that produce cash flow. Or you can get into land development and you can build houses. You can build maybe not the houses, but you can build the lots to sell to builders. There's all kinds of different ways to make money in real estate. It's a whole universe.
I think that's what the problem is, Nick. There's too many different ways to make money in this. And I think new investors specifically, they get into this industry and they get that shiny object syndrome, right?
Myself included.
Yeah, I'm totally, I do that still.
I've been in real estate as my main career 15 years now. And I have jumped around in everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe not syndication for apartment buildings. Haven't done that yet, but almost everything else we just discussed, I've been a part of. And guess what? I sucked at all of it when I first started. And I still suck at 80% of that stuff.
Yeah.
You can absolutely make money, but just remember, when you get into these little niches, you've got competition.
Yeah.
Competition of people that have been around. They've been through the ups and downs. They've learned by trial and error, and you are competing against other people. And so when you jump into real estate and you start trying all these different things, expect your results to be far less superior than most.
Yeah.
Unless you're sticking with one thing that you can suck at first and then eventually get better and better at.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to think about the way you said that too. Like, yeah, you suck at most things when you start, obviously. And that's the first time you throw a basketball, you're not swishing hoops. You know what I mean?
You're airballing.
You're airballing, right? You're breaking it off the rim. And that happens a lot in real estate too. And you just start finding out like, okay, this part of this makes sense. I'll stick with this. And this part of this didn't. Maybe I'll drop that, right?
Yeah.
And you just start really optimizing your flow about like, okay, this is how to actually do this stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes when you jump on a basketball court and you just throw a ball, you might swish it first time, and that's called beginner's luck.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you know how. It doesn't mean you know how to dribble. Doesn't mean you know how to play defense. Doesn't mean you can lay up. Doesn't mean you can do all the other things that basketball eventually requires to have play competitively
Right.
and actually make a profit at
You
the
can
end
still
of the day.
travel the ball. You can still double dribble. Like you can still like foul out hypothetically,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah. Just because you step on a court and make a swish doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
right. Nick and I have been playing basketball for like 30 years, by the way, and we still suck at it.
It's because we don't consistently practice.
It's true. We don't.
We try once a year or so.
Yeah. When we do play, though, we do get pretty decent at it. Like, you know,
If we
the
stick
5 or
with it.
6 in a row, we're like, okay, this is all coming back to me, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what we want to talk about this episode. Just finding your niche, and finding something that makes sense for you.
Yeah, true that. So when I first started in real estate as an agent, surprise, surprise, I sucked. I did not make much money my first year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working with investors. I was working with retail buyers. I was working with retail sellers. I was working short sales. I was working foreclosures.
Yeah.
I was working with anybody that would work with me. And I wasn't really niched in anything. I was a general real estate agent. So the unfortunate thing is when you get your real estate license, you're allowed to sell any real property in the world.
Yeah.
Of that jurisdiction.
And that's unfortunate. Why?
Unfortunate because I feel like you're so inexperienced at everything. So trying everything means that you're sharing that inexperience with all kinds of different things instead of, if I would have just focused on short sales,
right,
I would have sucked for the first few months and then eventually became really good and then turned a profit as I just stuck with short sales. And eventually that market did dwindle away, but at least you have all the practice of selling properties and you can take those skills into a different market when like that particular strategy started becoming unprofitable.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think what you're saying too, like, and this might not be where you were going, but the suck is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. And like when people get uncomfortable, like they're prone to try something else. Like this isn't working, and there's panic that sets in. And when there's panic that sets in, they throw everything they learned out the window.
Yeah. But the thing that sucks when you're brand new though is everything feels like it's not working.
Yes, that's true.
But it's just because, but the unfortunate thing is almost everything does work. It just requires experience and knowing what to anticipate to make a profit.
Right.
Which requires sucking at first. And the biggest disservice that you can do to yourself when you're a new real estate investor is try to get into all the things at the same time.
Sure.
Like I did. I mean, I feel like I started for the first couple of years as just a fix and flipper. I wasn't doing wholesaling. I wasn't buying rental properties. I was a real estate investor, but I always wanted to flip properties, and I eventually got into flipping houses, and I eventually got pretty good at it because that's pretty much all I was doing. And then I started as I bought my first rental, and it actually didn't go like terrific or anything, but I'd still consistently bought a couple of properties a year.
Sure.
I wasn't the best manager. Instead, I hired a property manager. That worked well.
Yeah.
But the point is, I wasn't doing short-term rentals. I wasn't trying to build houses. I wasn't trying to do all these things until about 2021, 2022, 2021. 2021 is when I just started doing everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to, because I saw all the opportunities. I was in the industry for like 10 years at that point, or 11 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I see all these people making money with short-term rentals. I see people making money building houses. I'm always making money flipping houses, so I'm doing that too. I see all these real estate agents making money. I just need to do it all.
Yeah.
Because real estate agents at the time were struggling trying to find inventory.
Yeah.
And that was a big bottleneck being a real estate agent. So I'm like, why don't I just go and start creating the inventory by building homes, flipping homes, developing land.
Yeah.
Doing all the things. Oh, and because now prices are so expensive and interest rates are starting to go up, I got to get into the short-term rental game too to make sure these things cash flow. So I started doing everything.
Yeah.
And my empire collapsed.
Right.
And it only took a year and a half or so.
It went
for me
quick
to start losing everything, almost everything I built up over that last decade.
Right.
By getting into all these different niches in real estate that I had very little experience in.
Yeah.
Also hired people that had very little to no experience in these niches as well.
I remember that period. And, with that time frame, like, I think the idea was really incredible, right? Because you saw all these opportunities You're like, well, there is money to be made in real estate.
Yeah.
I just need to go capture it. It's like your analogy, like this is like a bag of money on the ground, right? And that's kind of how you feel, right? There's this, if we need inventory, why don't I just go create the inventory? And then I solve two problems at once.
Right.
You know, I get to sell it and I get to create it, and like I'm helping everybody at the same time. But that's how you became over leveraged, right?
Right.
Yeah. Just by over compounding yourself and overextending basically. So
yeah, I was looking at, I got shiny object syndrome is what they call it a lot in this business. And it is a disease.
It is.
It's a bad disease.
We're still guilty of it, by the way. We are not perfect.
And it will make you suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something that you kind of always got to watch out for. And people that are attracted to this industry in general, that's one of their biggest issues. One of their biggest hiccups is getting distracted by finding some new, shiny, exciting thing.
Yeah.
And the people that make the most money in this business are the ones that are disciplined enough to just stay focused on one thing.
Right.
And they don't get bored easy.
They've got their specific like buy box or whatever. Like this is the type of project I will say yes to. Yeah.
Because they've gone through the hurdles and the trial and errors, and they've gone through the pain of making that thing work, and then they just stuck to it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things in this industry over the last 15 years that I've also kind of consistently stuck through. I've lost some money, made some money, but eventually got good. And that's simply just flipping residential homes in the buy-in is somewhere between 100 and 250,000.
Right.
And the selling price is somewhere between 300 and 500,000 or so. So that's what worked for me. That's something I can spot out real easy. That's something I can research quickly, make decisions quickly, and not hesitate. And I kind of proved myself again and again and again, and haven't really lost any money by sticking to that method.
Yeah.
Over
you are a pretty good house flipper. I will say,
13 years now.
You're pretty efficient at that.
Yeah. Well, it's just simply because I've got the experience,
right?
And I know what to look out for. And I know what problems to anticipate, and I've learned all these little tricks over time. And it's something that I've probably put 10,000 hours into at this point.
Sure, easy.
And I have over 10 years of doing that thing. But I've also done short-term rentals.
Yeah,
net negative over time. I've also built houses. Huge net negative over time. Even though I saw the vision,
right.
I understood the premise. You build a house, you try to build it for a certain price point, you sell for a certain price point.
That sounds easy peasy, right?
Yeah. Turns out there's thousands and thousands of little recipes in building a house, and it's a long process. And there are people out there, my competition, that have been doing it a lot longer than me, that can still turn a profit even when things get tough.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to.
Right.
I think I profited on maybe 3 house builds or something like that. Most of them I've lost money.
How many did you do total?
I don't know, 12 to 15 or something like that. I'd have to go back and count them.
Batting 20 to 25%.
But I think I lost money on like 9 of them.
Sure.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
Like millions.
Right. like more than the gain from the 3, right?
Right. Totally. But again, I still appreciate the experiences I went through, and I'm actually building a house right now, and all the lessons that I've learned, I feel like I can take it and apply here. And this new house build is a lot smaller scale.
Yeah.
It's actually a recreational property for me.
Yeah. This is not an investment.
I know all the steps. It's not an investment, but it's actually going suddenly fast.
Right.
And it's because I know now what's involved in developing land. And
is it a dry cabin, or is it going to have water and stuff?
Yeah, we're going to drill the well and everything. It's going to be an off-grid cabin.
Off-grid.
But it's still a normal house build.
Sure.
It's just not going to have power run to the property.
Sure.
It's all self-sufficient with solar panels and a backup generator.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what I wanted to talk about, obviously, is we were talking about niching down, of course. You said something on the last episode. Do you remember what you said when I said, like, what kind of investor are you?
A residential opportunist.
Residential opportunist. I think originally you said that was opportunist.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of going into niching down, because obviously, you've done the builds, you've done the fix and flips, you've done the short-term rentals, you've done it all basically, other than a couple of things.
Yeah.
Do you think your best use of time is by finding fix and flips?
Oh, right now I feel like it is, but like as we've interviewed many experienced
Yeah.
investors, a lot of them kind of eventually give this advice. Like if I were to do it all over again, I would just stick with, you know, smaller multifamily
Yeah.
or like medium-sized multifamily
Hmm.
and just stick with that
Yeah.
over time.
That
But
seems to be a good recipe for sure.
yeah, I'm always open to those opportunities. I just haven't seen anything in this local market that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of investors in my sphere that have invested out of state with multifamily.
Hmm.
And I think almost all of them, with the exception of one guy, has lost a lot of money and had a lot of stress.
Sure.
So it's just not something, even though we've had this common advice. A lot of these people, though, are nationwide. They're from out of state. They're from different markets where they can be more of an expert
Right.
in their local market, and
Hmm.
maybe there's more multifamily opportunities.
Yeah.
So I've just accepted the fact that, hey, right now I'm a residential opportunist,
Yeah.
and I need to even niche down further because that could also include, short-term rentals and stuff. But I've figured I'm not really good at that.
Right.
I and I can know that by just not how the properties look.
Hmm.
They looked amazing.
Right.
They were a
As they
great
should. Yeah.
stay, but did they make money? No.
Right.
um, we made money when Airbnb wasn't as popular in
Yeah.
2020 on a cabin. Did really well, but it was still, at the time, we were self-managing, and it was a lot more work than my rentals.
Right.
And I realized it just wasn't worth it for me at that
Is
time.
that the Wardener cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
and that's hard because right, you either trade your time or you trade your money to get increased profits on these things.
Yeah.
And with you not hiring a manager, like a short-term rental, there is a lot of overturn. So you're constantly going out there. It was probably what, an hour drive out there?
It was, yeah.
Hour
Hmm.
drive out there to do laundry, clean everything up.
Which we had somebody else,
Okay, good,
but
good,
we
good.
still went out there a lot to clean up after the cleaner
Sure.
because
Nobody's perfect, unfortunately. It's Wardener, man.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
There's 13 people that live there.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it does make money, of course, but then obviously you have all this time sink of everything of like checking up on people, and you got to check up on the people who are checking up on the things, right? And it's just, do you feel better that you got rid of that property? Like, no regrets?
Oh, that I got rid of that?
Yeah.
Well, no, I wish I would have kept it.
Yeah.
But it did, it's gone,
It served
and
its
I've had many
purpose.
property. Yeah, it served its purpose. I made money on it.
Yeah.
The money I reinvested, that profit, into something else didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So it would have been best if I just kept it, is
Right.
what goes on in my mind.
Sure.
But that's just part of the game. That's part of my learning experience.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've got lucky a few times. The
Yeah.
fortunate thing is the few times I got lucky, it outweighed a lot of the mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why real estate is great, because it does have these big swings if you know how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to play, that's when you end up losing a little bit more, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It's got a cash flow, baby.
Yeah.
That's the biggest trick out there.
Right.
And it may sound super basic and very Robert Kiyosaki-ish, but
Nothing wrong with that.
that is what I've learned over time. I keep coming back to, it's just got to make money every month, or it's not going to be good.
Yeah. That's a pretty valid, just keep that super simple, honestly. Like,
yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
If it makes money, keep it. You talked about small multifamily earlier, and like I think that is like a place a lot of investors would like to be in.
Yeah.
But I think there's a comfort factor in this, right? Because if we're talking about small multifamily, like 1 to 4 or 2 to 4 units type of thing.
Yeah, smaller is in like 16 to 30.
Okay, so like commercial.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
a lot of people they
that's
what
I mean, smaller. Like, because there's multifamily that's, this is a 300 unit apartment complex,
Right.
and that's a multi-million-dollar syndication type of property. I'm talking about something where you don't have to really have partners, and you're not self-managing it either. There's probably a manager that lives on site.
Sure.
But it's something where you can be, you can make more profits by having less people involved in the decision making, where it's maybe just you or one other partner instead of 30 syndicators or 30 people in your syndication.
Yeah, who are all limited partners, of course, who don't really have like a vote.
Right, but you're gonna get the calls, and you're gonna and so, but that works for some people.
Yeah, it does, honestly. But like,
it works really well for some people.
This particular stage is like it's a weird spot for people who, I mean, you've been a residential investor, right?
Yeah.
So like jumping ship to commercial, something like that, it's probably completely different than what you know. You can take a lot of what you know
Yeah.
and apply it, but it's a completely different ballgame out there. And like what you said, there are people who do that out there who are doing it cheaper and
Yep.
doing it better than you can do it right now.
Right.
So that's what
So I
makes it hard
can't
with the
expect
competition.
to, and what I've learned over time is like I can't just expect to like go hit it out of the park just because I understand the theory.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It really does take practice and getting
hmm
beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
And not just jumping on something because you want to, but because the right opportunity's there.
Yeah.
And that's what I've also found. You just got to wait sometimes for the right opportunity to show up, because the deal of the week, I mean, the deal of the century comes up every week.
Sure.
Sometimes it takes a little bit longer if you're not watching for deals constantly, and
Yeah.
and you have a way of like opening the floodgates where people bring you deals regularly.
hmm
You still got to say no, 99 out of 100 times, and at least in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I don't know if that makes sense,
It does.
but I at this stage in my career, I'm still not ready for commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think it would take to get you there?
Being completely sick of residential.
Okay. See, and that's why you are a residential opportunist.
and having a lot more money. Maybe selling most of my portfolio and then having a lot of money to deploy and reinvest. And I probably hold hands with probably be some sort of a partnership with somebody who's done it before.
Sure. But I mean, instead of like, you don't have to over leverage yourself on this. You could be a 5 to 10% partner in something, right? You
Yeah.
could bring like a little bit of capital and just be like, hey, I just kind of want to learn. I don't need the whole piece of the pie. Let me be like a 10% silent partner and just, I don't know, let me walk around and ask you questions every now and then.
Yeah. And I'm also, I think I'm more interested, instead of an apartment complex, because I already have some experience doing this and getting beat up and now making a profit. But over the last 4 years, I've owned an RV park,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been profitable for 2. The first 2, no.
Yeah.
But I've
But that's
taken
where you
taken
were
enough
learning.
time to learn the ropes
Mm-hmm.
and finally have a good system in place. And that excites me more than buying a big building that I'd have to take care of
Right.
for people and
Your RV
house
park's
people.
pretty cool, man.
The RV park is great because you're just renting out the land and utilities,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else they bring their own homes.
Yeah.
And they maintain their homes.
BYOH, bring your own home.
Uh-huh. Hey, quick commercial break here. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you want to give back, let me help you buy a house, or I can help you sell a house. It's the only way I make money when I'm not investing in real estate. I don't make money on this podcast or the events I do, but I do make money only when I help people buy and sell houses. So if you're looking for your next investment and you're here in North Idaho, I want to help you personally. If you are not in North Idaho, I can still help you out. I have a vast network of referral partners all across the country, and I can find the right real estate investor savvy agent for you so you don't have to. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you for your support. Back to the show. And the repairs are not as threatening every month or anything like that. It's just, do we have good management in place?
Right.
And are we keeping the bathrooms clean?
Right.
And that kind of stuff.
You just need to make sure you have a spot where they can plug in their camper to get electricity.
Yep.
And then drain their camper where they poop.
Yep.
That's it.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the water.
Don't forget the water. No,
they like their spigots.
They really do.
People love water.
No, but like let's talk about that just for a minute. I know we'll talk about all the niches here in a minute, but this RV park, like when it first started, it was a huge problem and a huge burden on your shoulders.
Sure. Yeah.
I remember that because I mean you were kind of a partner in this deal. And you would just end up kind of taking it over from what I understood.
Right.
And with somebody who takes over an RV park who's never done an RV park before, there's a lot to learn.
There is. Yeah. Yeah, I went through a lot. We don't have to get into all the details.
No,
but,
yeah.
Let's just say I got very frustrated. I got very excited to be a part of the deal.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
We got a cash inflection to start making improvements so that we can get people moved in.
Mm-hmm.
We took a long time to get the improvements made. Once the improvements were made, we were wondering, why aren't people moving in?
Ta-da! Yeah.
We have this manager who's not on site, by the way.
Okay.
Who's done a fantastic job with all my long-term rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, him and his company are taking the calls. But man, every day we're building out that property, people are driving by asking if they can move in. And now months are going by, we only have like one person, and then we constantly have vandalism going on. It's just
Yeah.
like wanted to pull my hair out. And
Sure.
this went on for a year where we just lost money every month.
What were people vandalizing?
Oh, the bathrooms.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
we had homeless people, like, trying to break into these new bathrooms, brand new bathrooms with the, electric door
Yeah, yeah.
entry code things, and they're just removing them and living in the bathrooms, and we just having
Wow.
issues. And then, and that would scare off our 1 or 2 tenants that we had move
Right. Yeah,
in.
yeah. Nobody
They're
wants
just like,
this.
"Oh, I can't be a part of this."
Wow.
Eventually, we found people to move in
Mhm.
to the park to manage it, and we found the right people. We set the right expectations. We had the right contracts.
Yeah.
They just were perfect for it. And I had to get very heavily involved for about 6 months, taking a lot of calls,
Yeah.
bringing people in, turning it was a long-term and short-term park. Eventually, over 9 months, it turned into now we're just doing month-to-month long-term.
Nice.
Um, so there was a lot, even as it was going well, there were problems,
Sure.
that in a lot of kinks, but I was just heavily involved for like all of 2023, I think.
Gotcha.
Um, well, yeah, 2023, 2024 too. But we've been, I think, since last September, things have gone pretty well. And so it's almost gone 12 months now of like, we've got our systems at work,
Yeah.
it seems like. And we just upped our prices this month too.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any difference between people booking this month and last month with your upped prices?
We don't do bookings anymore.
Okay.
So it's just long-term,
Sure.
month-to-month
Yeah, yeah.
people, and I don't handle it.
Mhm.
My managers have a waiting list, and when
Nice.
people move out, they call their waiting list to have the next person come in.
Nice.
So we are full.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I also have them incentivized to keep it full
Mhm.
because part of their compensation relies on what our occupancy is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So making the transition from short term to long term, do you think that made the difference in this thing like making sense for you?
Yeah, yeah. The short term was a great way to like just bring in some income
Right.
and have people traveling through that can book online, and we had an online thing, and it worked nice at first, and then as we had more and more long-term people come
Mhm.
and stay, the vacationers were grossed out by that, and we
Sure.
started getting bad reviews.
Gotcha.
And then eventually we're just like, hey, what's easier to work with? These people that, and then eventually half the people were just canceling the reservation,
Right.
before they even got there, that set them months in advance. So we had these spots that were booked for a few nights, and then all of a sudden they were canceled. So we had all this like potential income coming that we were excited about, and then they just not even show up.
Yeah, that's hard.
And they became the loud issue people versus our long-term people. They were just like, yeah, they might look a little scuzzier and
Sure.
their trailers a little rougher,
Mhm.
but they were consistently paying every month and not complaining.
Yeah.
And we just decided, let's just convert. Let's stop doing at a certain point, like in September of last year. We're not going to do short term anymore.
Yeah.
We're shutting the website down even.
Great.
Um, and we're going to go all month to month and just make sure um, if any of them are issues, we're going to make our contracts to where we can kick them out.
Sure.
And yeah, it's gone pretty well.
Does everyone pay equal lot rent or equal rent to live there?
There's two pay scales or
Okay.
two income, two costs.
Sure.
There's backup sites
Mhm.
that are about $20 less than a pull through site.
Gotcha.
So for a little bit easier, wider, longer parking, you
Mhm.
pay an extra $20 a month.
Cool.
So it's the same price for everybody.
Sure. That makes it easy.
If you're in there's a pull through row, you pay $20 more, or the back end row, you pay $20 less.
Nice.
And that's it.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
That's awesome. Do you think you'll ever sell that, or is that going to be something you're just going to hold on to?
That actually might be something I try to pay off completely and
Yeah.
keep as just that's something I don't understand why I would say. I wanted to sell it
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it wasn't working,
Mhm.
but now that we've found something that works, and I'm sure I want to pull my hair out, and I'm sure I'm going to want to sell it when my managers eventually quit or die. They're
Right.
older, because it might be hard to replace them.
Mhm.
I think they're just perfect for the job. Um, but because the wife cleans the bathrooms every day,
Nice.
and the husband, keeps everybody in check, and they'll talk to these people all day long. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
that's their life. They're very recreational.
Yeah.
And they have all the right equipment to keep the park up too. The guy's got a plow on his side by side, so he keeps it plowed.
Nice.
So he really keeps the expenses down.
Sure.
So I only have to pay them when we're full, $1,000 a month,
Okay.
and then they get free rent.
Mm-hmm.
But for $1,000 a month, we get cleaning every day, and we also
Proper
during the
management.
winter
Yeah.
get plowing done,
Yeah.
and we get proper management. They collect all the rents. They deal with any issues.
They give you big old bags of coin from the
They
laundry.
they collect the laundry coins. They do a lot.
Yeah.
And they're happy because they get to have their bills way low. They don't pay for any utilities.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay for rent.
Yeah.
And they get an extra $1,000 a month on top of their retirement.
It's pretty good.
And it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It keeps my expenses down and it keeps them happy. And I'm sure it won't be too difficult to find replacements. Now I know the type of people I have to try to find.
Right. I would say like my Brian and Shelley would be perfect if they didn't have their own things going on. Like that sounds like a perfect job for Brian. Like give them something to be busy. They can manage a little bit, make a little bit, but like there's a retared couple out there that would be like that would jump on that opportunity, I think. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
Especially if we keep it clean. And I did little things this year and reinvested a lot of the profits back into the park this year by cleaning up a whole section of we cleaned up about an acre of property that was just overgrown, like weeds and bushes and trees.
Yeah.
Cleared it out.
Nice.
And put in a park.
Oh, nice.
Put in like playground set, like surrounded by like bark and like the wood beams and stuff.
I haven't been out there in about 2 years. I didn't know you did that. That's awesome.
Yep. And picnic benches and stuff. That way because I think there were 12 or 13 kids that lived in the park that had nothing to do but just ride their bikes around like a driveway.
Yeah.
But now, there's something where the little kid, like they can feel a little bit more at home.
Right.
Slightly more. And the kids can have something to go do versus just get in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm pretty proud we actually invested some money into it instead of just kept all the cash flow.
Yeah. How much did it cost to build a park with all this stuff?
It was about $6 or $7 grand.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Build a park on all my properties.
There you go.
Cool. And I know we're kind of off topic a little bit, but like this wasn't really your niche, but it did fall into your lap, and you've made the best out of this situation for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't my niche. It was hard. Lost a lot of money for the first couple of years, but I stuck with it because I knew the long-term cash flow potential is something that a lot of like real estate investors really thrive for. It's like, where's that magical pony of something that's going to cash flow a bunch?
You're right, but also I think like a lot of people get caught up in, you're talking about long-term cash flow vision. A lot of people get really caught up in the mud.
Yeah.
Like when you first get a property and the property's not maintaining or not performing.
Yep.
It's hard to break through that.
Yeah. So like with this property right now, it brings in around $9 grand a month.
Okay.
And if I can just focus over the next, so I've got a plan. I've got a plan, Jeremy.
I've got a plan.
I've got projects in the pipeline. My plan is, because right now a lot of that cash flow, more than half of it goes to interest payments.
Sure.
And I have projects in the pipeline that I'm going to spend about 1/4 of my profits over the next couple of years on this cabin that I'm building for myself.
Right.
And then 3/4 of the profits, I'm going to pay down the majority of this loan that's on it. So I'll have much more cash flow about 2 years from now than right now, instead of focusing on trying to find another expensive little house in the area that can cash flow $200. So that's my plan.
What kind of loan are you on? Are you on a private loan with an investor?
Yeah. But one of them's private investor and the other one's a hard money lender. Okay. So there's 2 loans against this one.
Gotcha.
And we still cash flow a little bit every month.
Nice.
But if we could just pay down a few $100,000.
So you got a first and second lien on the property type of deal?
I do. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. and I've put a lot of cash into this property too.
Right.
So it's been a big investment, a lot of work.
Yeah.
But this one deal could, if it could help us with retirement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because over time, as we have more inflation, these rents can just go up a little bit, if needed. I feel like it's gonna be a really good hedge against my non-retirement account.
Right. Yeah.
I've got little bits, but they're not.
That's good. You can be diversified in this stuff,
yeah.
and I think that's great. Like, honestly, and I'm an outsider here, but like, you pay off those loans, right? And like you're planning on taking the profits and just paying down that note, or paying down the second, paying down the first, whatever it takes. Your profit's just going to go up over time for that.
Right. Yeah. And I a few years ago, I was speaking completely different. And that was because interest rates were 2% and 3%.
Right.
And it didn't make sense.
We got a little cocky.
Yeah. Well, and I would probably feel the same way. If interest rates were 3% today, I wouldn't be talking this way.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to. And the properties that I have right now, I feel like I did a good job of acquiring rental properties that bring in income. Now, over the next few years, my plan is to work on paying the debts off so that they can actually, and right now we do have cash flow.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's good.
How can we maximize that cash flow? Pay off the debt.
Right.
Get a little Dave Ramsey in us. Something I never thought I'd say.
Yeah.
But
welcome to the club.
That is actually in the Millionaire Real Estate Investor book. It's about acquiring properties with debt and then paying those debts off quicker than the expiration of the loan.
Yep. Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Because then, I mean, time is the best tool you have here.
Yeah.
And like, the more you can use your time and allow your time and money to grow, the more it will grow, of course. It's pretty easy math on that point. But pay off those debts, and I think, like, that is such a cool property, and you've done really cool improvements to it. Like, I should drive by it next time I'm out there.
I should.
Like,
it's still an RV park.
Sure.
Parking lot.
It's just cool that you built like a parking.
It looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it works, and people live there.
Yeah.
And it feels good to know that it is a win-win. It's a very affordable living for these people.
Yeah.
They're, it's not the best living situation, but it's the best that we can offer.
Right. Well, they wouldn't accept it if it wasn't needed. You know what I mean? Like, if you just threw out a product that was something that people didn't need, you just wouldn't have bookings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people are looking for something like this, and you definitely found a niche of people looking to live cheap.
Yeah. And so, and the way I see it is like, there's a few $100,000. If I had a few $100,000, I can go buy a house in Post Falls, newer construction, and get about $2,000 a month out of it.
Yeah.
Or if I can save up over time and pay down these loans, a few $100,000, that's an extra few $1,000s for me every month that will grow with time as well. And I won't have to take care of a house.
Are your loans interest only, or are they amortized right now?
Those ones are interest only.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. The plan was to, and still is, if I don't have these projects all done and enough cash flow to pay it down, I still want to pay it down, but I'm still actually going to get in 2026 a loan to pay off one of the private investors is what we've kind of structured it.
Right.
Because we got to show 2 profitable tax years of showing that this business can stand up on its own 2 feet.
Yeah.
In order to refinance it with conventional bank loan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So just stay the course then.
Yeah. So I feel like we've talked mostly about this RV park this whole time, and we were talking about niching.
That's okay.
But that's one of my, I guess that's one of my niches now, could be an RV park. I can keep an eye out for something else.
Yeah.
If it makes sense.
You've taken what you know, and you could duplicate this system on another RV park and make it profitable. Easy.
Instead of just jumping into an apartment like everybody says. Oh, just go to apartments.
and I think what you're saying too, like these RV parks, since like all it is land. You're not taking care of buildings other than like the outbuilding with the bathrooms and the one building, but you're not taking care of a big multiple thing. You just mostly dirt and maintaining the dirt and maintaining your clientele. That sounds pretty cool.
It does.
It's cool. Yeah. And the reason why I want to talk about niching, like Nick specializes in a lot of things, right? Like I would call you, like if I had to put a label on you, I would call you a fix and flipper.
Fix and flipper.
Yeah. Like if I had to put a label on,
because that's what I've probably done the most of.
Right. And that's what makes it your niche.
Though, I think I'm knocking on the door of like 75 or 80 fix and flips now.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a lot.
Yeah.
There's definitely been other people that have done way more deals than me.
Hmm.
But I feel confident enough to make a decision on fixing and flipping a home
Right.
in, 6 minutes,
Mhm.
where a lot of people need a little bit more time
Sure.
to make a decision if they found the right opportunity.
I agree with you. I would need a lot more time than you need. And
Yeah.
like oftentimes when I see a deal, like my first thought is like, I should talk to Nick
Uh-huh.
and see if he can help me analyze this thing. Because I don't quite know what I'm doing in that situation yet. I've got a kind of a ballpark where I should be,
Yeah.
but I think like really talking to you like helps me. Like I'm talking to an expert right now in this basically, and you can help me see things that I don't see because you've done it so many times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
And
just very powerful to have you right there in my pocket, to be
and you've
honest with
got
you.
skills too.
Yeah.
I mean, if I needed to, if I stumbled upon a book of Pokemon cards
Right.
and had no idea what I was looking at,
Glad I could help
am I
you
going to
there.
go trust, bringing it to a card specialist that's probably going to rip me off?
Mhm.
Or, hey, you want to help me out with this thing? Or, setting up the right retirement account.
Yeah.
Or, flipping money like you do.
Mhm.
I think you do that better than I do
Sure.
when it comes to giving small loans to people.
Yeah.
And
And that's
do
what
a
I
great
wanted to
job
say
of-
too. Like
yeah.
my niche, I feel like my niche right now is like private investing and
Yeah.
like note investing, right? Like
Yeah.
just creating
Give me
these.
small loans
Mhm.
on real estate deals.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. Like,
Yeah.
what have you learned? What are some of the mistakes you've made, and what do you think is some of the best advice you can give if somebody wants to niche and just lending out their money?
Sure. So I think like when you're lending out your money specifically, I think you need to analyze the person first. Is this
Okay.
person like analyze the character?
It's good advice.
Honestly, like I'm gonna curse. Fuck the deal right now. Is
Yeah.
the person? Do they have what it takes to get this done?
See, that's a mistake I make.
Mhm.
I will first look at the deal and then the person.
Yeah.
But you're totally right, because
Right.
anytime I've been fucked in the past, it's not because of the deal necessarily.
Yeah.
It's because of the partner I chose to go with.
Yeah. Look at the character. Look at your past record. Like you and I do a lot of deals together because for one, we know, like, and trust each other.
Mhm.
It's easy to work with you. I feel like you make things easy for me. I make things easy for you. We try to make these
We
win-wins for
try
each
to
other.
out easy each other.
Yeah, yeah.
No, man, whatever's easiest for you. No, whatever's easiest for you. I think we had an email battle yesterday.
That's exactly
Just
what we
like,
did. I'm like, dude,
No, ACH is fine with me. It's just whatever you want.
dude,
No,
however gets the money in my account easiest for you. I don't care.
make a decision, asshole.
The decision is I want my money the easiest,
Yeah.
right? Or I want you to be able to pay me the easiest.
Yeah.
And this is important. Because if it's easy for you to pay me, it's easy for that payment to come through on my end.
Yeah.
Right. So like if it's a complicated payment system, like that could fall behind or it could get lost in the mail or could get lost in translation. But if we just have an automatic setup for ACH where you pay me the 5th of every month, great. Let's do
Okay.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I just wanted to make it simple for you to put money in my account. Whatever that
Mhm.
looks like, let's make that happen right now. Again, how I analyze deals is like analyze the character first. Because I think who you are in business with is more important than whatever terms you're making.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you were to offer me like 6% on a loan, like I'd consider it.
Okay.
Because it's easy working with you, right?
Yeah.
Versus
I don't think
somewhere
I'd
else.
do that to you.
I know what I
yeah.
mean. But like hypothetically, if someone else was like, hey, 25% terms, but like it's a questionable deal or it's
Yeah.
a questionable this, like, and I'm like, okay, I know Nick will pay me 6. I don't know if this guy will pay me 25. That becomes inherently what's called a risk.
I might say I'll pay you 6 and then I pay you more towards the end.
You might.
Didn't I do that once on the Medina property? Didn't I pay you a little bonus? I thought I did.
You
Never-
did, yes, but that's because I was like, hey, dude, we need to rein this thing in.
Oh yeah.
Like I gave you a
Okay.
loan to like help you out, and then it ended up being like, hey, I'm
longer-term
paying a
loan.
lot more money than you think I'm paying.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I appreciate
Tried to
your
make it right.
Yeah, you did great. So analyze the person first, then analyze the deal, then analyze the terms.
Mhm.
Right. So like, okay, who am I in business with? What's the deal? What am I getting collateralized here? And part of this is going to be how much money do you want to make too? Like, you have to have that number in mind before you really start putting your money out.
Yeah.
Nick's paying me pretty decent for this upcoming deal. I love the rule of 72, man, with compound interest. I think that's going to be at like a...
What's that? What's the rule of 72?
The rule of 72 is you take your interest rate and you divide it by 72, and that's how many years it's going to take to double your money.
Okay.
So, for instance, if we did, and then how that works is it's without contributions, so without me making more contributions.
Okay.
So if we do 72 divided by 18, 4. So you're paying me 18% on a note right now.
Yeah.
Divided by 72. 18 divided by 72 is 4. So it'll take 4 years to double my money off of that interest rate.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good flow of money.
If I were to continue to borrow at 18%.
Right. If that deal was continuing for 4 years, I would double whatever money I gave you. So I'm giving you 13, it'd be 26 in 4 years. Okay. That's pretty cool without me contributing anything else.
Okay. So you take the so you take 72 and you divide it by 0.18, or do you divide it by 18?
Just by 18.
Okay.
So like if I did, 72, I have deals going out at 16 right now, and that should be 4.5 divided by 16, 4.5.
Okay.
So 4.5 years might double my money based off that interest rate.
Got it.
And then again, you can increase your flow of money by increasing your interest. But again, the thing I would look at first is, do you like this person?
Yeah.
Do you like what this person's doing? Do you think this person is trustworthy enough to pay you back? If so, how are you collateralizing that?
So you take it a step further.
Mm-hmm.
With everyone?
Everyone but you.
Yeah.
All of my other deals are secured by a deed of trust.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just depends on what you want to do too, because like you can lend money into syndication, you can lend money into a fix and flip, or you can lend money into a small business and help them get a loan. Like I've got a lot of options of what I can do here.
Yeah.
And with a lot of options gets a lot of creativity on how we can actually make the deal sweet for each other.
Yeah.
Right. Because some deals I've got money lent out of my HELOC right now, and I've got ownership in RV parks based off the money that I'm lending in. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So like we make deals. I'm like, okay,
So
if I keep this money in for 2 years, hypothetically,
plus ownership.
Plus ownership, right?
Yeah.
And that's just a little bit of negotiating back and forth. Like, I'm not stupid. I would like a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
It's not always important, but it's nice to know that I can negotiate that every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And again, like find what interest rate you need and find what investment vehicle you want to invest in. I've been switching from my HELOC to using it out of my retirement accounts just for tax efficiency. And that's great. So I don't have to pay taxes on any of this stuff. I'm not paying HELOC mortgage back. Just trying to put more money in my pocket at once.
Yeah.
Versus paying for HELOC fees and taxes and stuff.
Yeah, you got to consider all that.
Yeah, you do have to consider all that because you're running a business.
Yeah.
And there are taxes involved.
Sometimes you think you're making a great profit, and then you do your books at the end of the year, and you're just like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, whoa.
I had expenses? I forgot about the expenses. Yeah. Dang it.
Well, you should
what you get for being new.
That is what you get for being new. Anyway, like if you want to lend your money, just do some research before you do it, honestly. Like do some research on the person, the property, what average terms are looking at in the area. And a lot of this, like ChatGPT or Grok could help you out with. Like,
for sure.
I'm looking to be a private investor. What questions should I ask?
These tools are amazing.
They really are.
They really are. And they'll help you consider all the expenses that you didn't think of, because the biggest expense you're going to have as a newer investor, in my opinion, is like some sort of an ignorance tax or like an inexperienced tax. And it's just an expense of mistakes that you'll make that your competition probably won't make.
Right.
That you just have to pay, and it's your education.
Sure.
So don't get upset by it. Expect it.
Right.
And just hang in there and stick to one thing that doesn't make you too bored. But if it's slightly boring and making you money, you know you're on the right track.
I love private investing.
Yeah.
Like I love it so much for multiple reasons. Like I don't have the time and the knowledge to like go out and find and source these deals, let alone work on them or like fire the right contractors or anything like that. Like I'm that inexperienced, I will tell you right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because like I can still like, I'm like, okay, I've got a pot of money. I know investors will want this pot of money because you guys are always looking for pots of money.
They love their pots.
They do love their pots. Yeah, just, and again, I don't think I've made any real mistakes in this. I have made situations where I didn't make as much as I should have.
Yeah.
And that just comes from experience.
Yeah.
And we talked about
and you've put yourself in situations where you did make more than you probably should have.
Yeah. And that's part of the game, right?
Which is also, everything counterbalances itself.
It does.
There.
like for instance, the first deal we ever did out of our HELOC was we did one for Caitlin and Emma.
Yeah.
And you were telling me like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, it's fine, dude. We took a first position lien on a house.
Did I say no, don't do it?
Yeah.
Or was I just like, be careful?
you were pretty adamant, like, hey, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I was threatened by the location, I think.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like,
and also it was 100% loan.
It was, and that's part of where we didn't make a mistake, but we could have made more money than we did.
Yeah.
Right. So we did 100% loan, 0 points. All I did say was I want a guaranteed 10% interest. So if they sold it in 4 months, we get 10% for a year.
Okay.
Right. So we got $13,000 back, and they sold it in like 3 or 4 months. So we made a lot of money on it. But we could have made more with points and like a down payment and like been a little bit more collateralized. But like
the 12-month interest guarantee, good luck ever getting that again with anybody.
Sure.
I think they agreed to it because they are very inexperienced as well. But
also like
most people get like a 3 or 4 month interest guarantee.
Right. But that's why it made sense, right? Because I'm like, we're not charging you points.
Yep.
We'll pay for the whole thing up front. So you guys don't even need to come with a down payment.
Yep.
And Sam and I were like, okay, worst case scenario, like absolute worst case scenario, they shit the bed, we get a house.
Yep.
Like worst case scenario, we'll fix it. Like I know I can sell this thing for that price.
Yeah.
100%. And they sold it for like $250 and made a lot of money.
Yep.
And it worked out well.
Yeah.
But it
did work out.
Yeah. We could have made more. We could have done it better. And that's just something I've been optimizing throughout my own trials and tribulations of being a private lender.
Yeah. And you've made it work. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking to something that's some would consider boring.
Yeah.
But you've made a lot of money doing it.
Not a lot. So like I'm not like hitting it rich. I'm hitting like little base hits. With these things.
I'm talking about your returns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The returns are good.
The returns are abnormal, but you put effort into it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And that's part of like every deal is going to be different. Like we even talked about the last deal. I'm like, what do you need? Do you want to make payments or do you want to cut me into the pie? Like,
yeah,
you have that choice. You can do whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy to do either with those. But like sometimes it's not just as simple as like, I give you money, you give me money back. Sometimes you have to hit people's pain points. Like if your pain point was like, oh, I'm really tapped on money and I can't afford this monthly payment.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk other ways.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me like 3% of equity or something?
I got to cut you in on the equity.
Yeah. If that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes from both parties. It's not like, I think a lot of people, if you're not willing to do that, sometimes you do have a scarcity mindset. I'm not saying you do, but like there are some times where people are like, I just want all my money for myself. Great. Good luck getting people to work with you.
Right.
Yeah. I think this is a people business and you really got to be one with the people.
That's a quote. You got to be one with the people in the people.
You got to be one with the people. Anyway, that's how that's what I have been focusing on. Yes. So
yeah. So what's next for you? You think you're going to stick with this, or do you have? Because I remember we've talked plans within the last couple of years. You guys wanted to buy a house out of state, right. Some sort of rental. You're really
shiny object syndrome.
Rental. I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like buying a rental has not been really a priority for you anymore.
I would agree at the moment.
Yeah.
And here's why. Like I've got all these little tiny accounts full of like little tiny capital. I'm doing pretty decent on the private loans, and I'm analyzing this like, okay, like if I were to buy another property and put $13,000 down, would I get $200 a month for a return?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. Right. Yeah. So like
probably be eating it for a little while.
I'd be eating it for a little while. And that's just not something I'm in a position to do at the moment.
Yeah.
The plan is to get the 401k specifically up really high, and I can start buying rentals in that.
Yeah.
IRA, that's going to be more for my private notes and private lending. But then that way I don't have to pay the UBIT or the dead income tax on that.
Yep. Yeah, I learned about UBIT with you.
Mm-hmm.
You told me about UBIT.
Yeah.
During one of these podcasts, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Then I checked it, and it's true.
Weird.
Yeah. You can still get taxed in your Roth IRA if you're using debt.
Now, I learned something new on that, actually. So if you have to end up paying UBIT or UDFI, that's unrelated debt income financing. If you have to pay UDFI, you can actually take the depreciation on the property as well.
Okay.
To offset that.
To offset your personal liability, or
no,
just within that?
Just within that situation.
Within that. Okay. So
right.
Then you do have to file a tax return, because I thought you don't have to file tax returns with Roth IRAs, but I guess you would if you're using debt to make money.
Yeah. So really
interesting.
Yeah. So
I guess you should just talk to a professional.
You should talk to a professional. But I was just listening to one of Matt and Mark's podcasts the other day, and you were talking about the other day, it's not efficient to buy one in this vehicle, which yes and no, depends on what you have available. But if you if you're worried about the depreciation,
I'm just parroting what the biggest tax guy in the world was basically saying in his book.
Sure.
Tom Wheelwright.
Yeah.
Where, you don't want to buy a rental property in your retirement account because it's like putting, two, you can't put a tax shelter in a tax shelter. Then you don't get all the business, or you don't get all the personal benefits of having that tax shelter. So,
but you're not paying taxes on it anyway. So like that's the argument there. Like, yeah, you don't get the benefits, but you're also getting the benefit of not paying the taxes on it.
When my brain is working, we'll talk about this. It did make a lot of sense to me.
And so does whoever sent it to me.
Most people, you just got to remember when you're buying a rental property, most people are buying these rental properties to shelter income and pay less taxes.
Sure.
Because that's where the big bulk of your benefits are, other than just paying down something that, a tenant's paying down a house for you.
Right.
But half the benefit is the side effects that you'll get personally by limiting your tax liability by having a tax shelter.
Sure.
But that goes away when it goes into your retirement account, because you got to be at an arm's length. You got to keep them separated.
Sure. You don't get the personal benefit of the depreciation and all the write-offs, but you also get the benefit of your account not having to pay taxes on this thing.
Right, but it wouldn't have anyway, no matter what kind of investment.
It feels like a wash to me. You are right, but it doesn't mean
there are higher profit. There's better ways to make returns than buying a rental property in your retirement account.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
But if you have the means to do it in your retirement account and you don't have the means to do it personally, you still should take that versus nothing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If that's what you want.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to specialize in.
Yeah.
Or a niche.
Yeah. Your niche. You niche down.
Your niche or niche.
Anyway, we'll talk a little bit after the show about what exactly that looks like. But with your 401k, you don't have to pay UDFI or UBIT or anything like that. So that's why I'm specifically trying to overfund that right now. And that can do, I can buy businesses, I can buy whatever, and just get the tax-free wealth there.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you really learned something today. I hope you actually try to focus on one thing and really make it work. If you're out there struggling, it's probably because you're trying to do too much.
Yeah.
So our advice today is just focus on one thing, one boring thing that makes money, and start becoming really good at that.
Yeah. One boring thing that makes money, but also like something you like.
Something that you like, of course.
If you don't like it, I think you're going to burn out
eventually you'll
quick.
get bored if you're like us.
Yeah.
And
true.
That's when you know you have something great.
Yeah.
Is when it becomes boring, but it still makes money. So just keep getting good at it.
Yeah. I love it.
That's all I got to say.
That's great.
All right. Love you guys. Talk to you and all the...
Thank you so much for checking out the Investor Shed podcast. If you enjoyed your time, make sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow along on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Investor Shed for shorts and promos about each episode. Do you want to be a guest or know someone who has great real estate investing advice and stories? Reach out to us at theinvestorshed@gmail.com.